Already live.
We are live, everybody. Good evening.
See, there you go. Inside voice, bestie. Inside voice. What's up, family? It's the Shenanigans with them two. It's yours truly, MJ, and my girl.
Lady Des.
Tonight, oh man, this is a good one because we want to know who's in your circle. We've got the opportunity to speak to the author, Miss Monique Strachan. She is joining us on this evening, and it's going to be a good one tonight. How are you?
Monique, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I was trying to figure out what's the feedback that I was getting, right? Because there appeared to be a delay, but I had the live stream on another tab. So
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, okay, I'm all the way together right now.
You sure you with us now? Are you sure? We
Yes,
good?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, before we jump into this guide to friendship, who's in your circle, give the people a little bit of background on who Monique Strawn is.
Listen, I love the way you say my name because you got it right the first time. That's what's up. um well, my name is Monique Strawn. I am from Miami, born and raised, well, born in Little Haiti, raised in Overtown, town of full life, as what
Oh,
they
there we
say.
go.
Um let me stop. Okay, I gotta act civilized, right? All
You know,
right, so um yeah, from Overtown, love my city. I'm married with two daughters, both adults, that are entertainer. Well, that are artists. Excuse me. One is a makeup artist. The other one is, um, she's in music. She does music. I'm married. I have been married for what, 6 years. I
hey,
know
you made it
my
sound
husband.
good. 26.
You don't know how many years we've been married because we've been together way longer than that.
Okay, okay.
Over 30. Yeah. I went to my undergrad. I went to HBCU, Bethune Cookman College, Wildcats, woo woo, and where I obtained an undergraduate, my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I obtained my master's degree several years later from Barry University in special
Okay.
education.
Special ed. That's what's up. So, let's talk about this book. Who's in your circle? Before we talk about what's in the book, what inspired you to write the book?
Okay, so um, well, okay, where do I begin? All right, so long time ago, or over the years, I felt like the Holy Spirit impressed upon me to journal, just start writing. And of course, I thought this was just something that was between me and God during my quiet time with him, waiting to hear from the Lord, like what you want me to do, how you want me to act, like I need more of you, Lord. And then, but I continued to do that, and I kept journaling or writing things down. And then one day, like over a, some time right before the pandemic hit, a coworker of mine would always reach out to me, text me and say, hey, ask me for advice or words of encouragement, or she would, share some things that's going on in her life. And I would, just give her a word of encouragement and, pray with her and try to lift up her spirits. So she would always text me back and be like, yeah, you should write a book. You should you should write a journal. Like I was like, girl, don't nobody want to hear what I have to say. Mm-mm. I mean, it's just me and you sharing. Like I'm comfortable in a more intimate setting, right? And so I was like, no, I'm good. And then one day during the, I guess, during the pandemic, um, I was sharing with a friend of mine who was one of my accountability partners. I was sharing her with what my other coworker was telling me, and she was like, "Yeah, You need to go ahead and do it. I was like, no. So with her persistence, her and another friend of mine, Brian Felton, they continue to push me, as well as my daughters uh, kept pushing me and encouraging me. And then finally I just sat down and I said, okay, let me just put it in motion. Um, it took me a while because again, I just felt like it's not something that people want to hear, right? And then not only myself, but there were some individuals around me, such as my daughters. They were having some friendship issues. I would just listen to what they will be going through, or what their conversations would be like in their circle. And so I was like, maybe I should. So during the pandemic, I'm not sure if everyone was like that, but I know for me, I had to do some soul searching. I didn't really, what I realized during the pandemic is that I really didn't value myself, right? I would always place myself on the back burner and push other people. Like I'm the one that I'd rather sit in the back seat. I'll be encouraging you and motivating you. Go! I'll be the loudest one cheering you on. Um, and that's where I'd rather be. So I felt a little intimidated. I felt like like I said, nobody want to hear what I have to say, especially something like that. It's like something simple, you know. And then I believe, with that as confirmation with those who were around me, as confirmation with what the Lord had already impressed upon me to do and to write about. Um, that's when I was like, yeah, okay. So it took me a while. Actually, the book, like what I wanted to say, probably took me maybe like an hour or so, right? But to put it out, yeah, I kept pushing it back, holding on to it, hesitating, making all these reasons. Yeah.
Well,
I hope
Monique,
I
let
answered
me
the
ask you
question because
this. Let me ask you this. This is a guide to friendship, right? And you're just basically guiding people how to pick the right friends, basically, or to know who your friends are. And friends are
mm-hmm,
like one of the most influential people in your life. Why you think
correct.
it's so important to know who's in your circle?
Des, I don't mean to cut you off, but before we talk about who's in your circle, why don't we get Monique to first define what a friend is, and then we can tie that into how we should bring them into a circle.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So let's define it first, and then just go right into Monique. Why is it so important to know who's in your circle since friends are so influential?
All right. So, um, according to the internet, dictionary.com, I had to really um, read or research, right? What is an actual friend? I have my own definition, but does it line up with, let's say, the world's view or the correct definition of a friend? And so, in my research, I learned that a friend is a person who is attached um, to another with with feelings or by feelings of affection or personal regard, like it's a mutual understanding, right? A person who gives assistance or um, who is a supporter of an individual, a person who is on good terms with another, a person who is not hostile, who is loving or may not be loving, but someone who has raw honesty, um, a person who associates with another as a contact or like we do on social media. So for me, the social media friend is not just really a friend, it's just a list to me, because a friend is someone who's personal or can be personal. A friend is loyal, in my opinion. They are encouraging, they are motivating, they tell you the truth. They don't A real friend will be there for you um when no one else is. And it should be the same way. The feelings should be reciprocated. So you have that with each other. if that makes sense.
It makes sense. How does one know the true meaning? Well, not necessarily even the true meaning, but when the relationship of friend is true, because these days that word it flies around so freely. Oh, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. And a lot of times you're bringing these people into your circle, and you guys haven't had the trial or the tribulation, but all of a sudden that's your friend.
Right. You're correct, MJ. What I find is that what I have found is that a lot of people, and I'm not talking about only young people, even older people, right? My generation, I'm 51 years old, and I noticed a few years ago where, um, that term is being just thrown around. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. That's my friend. Hey, friend. And I'm like, do you really know what a friend is? Like me and my friends, when one is down, all of us are down. When one is up, all of us are up. If I got $1 and it's four of us, each of us got 25 cents of that dollar, right? We in the trenches together. That person have my back, not way back, but when it's time to have my back, they are there for me, and vice versa. So using that term when everybody really don't understand the meaning of it, because it's a serious relationship when you really look at it. You can also have fun with your friends, right? When you're down, they lift you up. When you wrong, they correct you. You gotta have them kind of people around you. So using that term loosely, yes, I do agree. You have quite a few people that use that term loosely, and they really don't understand what it means to be a friend.
Absolutely. And you know what? Sometimes people feel that your friends need to be around you 24/7. And from my
Yes.
experience, I have come across that we have built dynamic relationships, right? And at the beginning of our relationship, we would talk every day. We would go out together all the time. People will see us together all the time. But then, life starts happening, things starts changing. They started building their own families. They got new careers and different things happen. But and we don't talk as much, or they even moved away. I had some to move away. So, we don't talk like we used to or go out like we used to. And I tell people all the time, that's still my friend, because the relationship that we have built over time is unbreakable. So I just want people to know as well, don't think that special friend always have to be around you 24/7, or you all have to talk every day. But when you were together, the relationship that was built, that relationship is unbreakable. So I have a friend that stays in South Carolina right now. We don't talk like we used to. We don't hang out like we used to, because she has her own family. Life starts happening. But when we do get together, it's like we never missed a beat. So I'm that type of friend. I'm gonna be there. Listen, ride or die. Okay, I'm gonna be there. And if we had an amazing relationship before, that amazing relationship can always continue.
You got too many friends for me.
You're Did
Not
you see his
actually,
face earlier?
MJ. Not actually. So listen, let's go into some of the titles of the friends, because you have some dynamic chapters actually, and it's like I can pick a person that I know that will fit every chapter that you called out. So we'll start talking about the chapter, but MJ is definitely a territorial friend.
Before we go into the types of friends, I must read from the book, and I quote: "Do not misunderstand the purpose of this book. I would not consider it to be a self help book. Instead, its purpose is to simply bring awareness to the types of people that we may have around us that can affect our daily lives as whole." From that point, let's jump right into the frenemy.
So,
Well,
so
going back
Monique, let me
to
ask you this: how did you name each chapter? Did it just automatically come to you, or you, from life experiences, you experience each one of these chapters?
all right, so it's a combination, personal experiences and then experiences of others, right? Mainly from personal experiences, and of course, I had to change names, scenes, you know, fictional characters and things like that. So well, my writing started out with just jotting words down, writing the words down, just writing different words that came to me. And like I said, I mean, I can't help it, but I have to give glory unto God, because when I sat down, I prayed, I said, okay, God, this got to be you, because I don't even know what to say. Like writing, I know I can talk when I want to, but writing it down is too much. So, um, so I was jotting down different terms or words, and then researched. And I said, okay, so how am I going to wrap this kind of character, or what should I call them? And that's basically what it came out to. Now, the chapters in the book, or the titles that was given in the book, what were in the book, it could be a limited. It is a limited list, right? It's not these are the only types of characters or friendships or people that there are. No, there aren't. It's not. There's a whole lot, and it's a matter of wrapping them into one. Like, okay, what kind of person this is? And so that was my process in writing, as I'm jotting them down, and then thinking about, okay, yeah, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna call this person. Oh yeah, and negative Nancy. Oh man, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Every time, yeah, and getting all hyped up. Oh yeah. And then I started thinking about my own experiences, and then some other examples. And I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that's the leech. Hmm. So that was basically the process. Like I said, it took me a short period of time to write what I wanted to say, or what I think should be included. It took me a while to get it released, because the book was released 2 years ago, February 26, 2022. And so but when I got to that point, or before getting to that point, y'all just don't know how many times I wanted to quit. I probably did. I actually did. But I had my accountability partner. That's who was in my circle. And they kept it so real with me. And to where they were getting ready to charge me. I had to set deadlines. And when I failed to set those deadlines, there was a price tag to that.
Ooh,
And
that's
so
that,
I'm like,
that's good. I like that. Maybe I ought to start charging people for being late. My God.
when you put a price tag to something, sometimes it perks people's attention, and it helps them to push through and carry them through to complete their deadlines, hold them accountable to what they said that they wanted to do and needed to do. They saw, and actually, let me tell you something. Those people are so awesome. Man, I got an awesome circle. I'm telling you, I could not tell every my whole circle everything I'm doing, because um, Desiree mentioned it earlier, where I don't talk to them every day. But these were the individuals that I spoke to every day, and I was sharing my thoughts and what I would like to do, and what I've learned about myself during this time. And so they were like, oh, yeah, you're going to do this. And they had more belief in the project than I did. They had
And
more faith in that book than I did. And
you
that's
know
what
what?
really,
And
you know,
that's a good thing. That's a good thing, Monique. I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to do that. But
mm-mm,
but this is what I always share with staff, or a leadership team, it's always good to have a team that got your back 110%. Because when you feel like giving up and doing whatever it is that you're called to do, you have that team or that friend or that circle that's behind you. Like, no, you can't give up. If you give up,
Mhm.
what about the rest of us? So we're going to push you, and they motivate you. They speak into your life. And those are the type of people that you want around you. So I commend you for having that group of friends and not just having them, but listening to them and
Mhm.
hold yourself accountable because they're pushing you. A lot of times, we may want a pity party,
Mhm.
and and we want to feel bad. But like I said, my circle too, MJ is like, no, what you doing, Des? No, you better go. You better get it. And those are the type of people that we need on our team, that we need around us. That when we feel like giving up, our friends or our circle will not allow that to happen.
There are pushers.
Yes,
They
yes,
push us beyond limits. They push us to the limit, whether it's positive or negative. But of course, we want it to be positive, but they push us and they force us to take on accountability and to become who they even believe when we don't believe in ourselves, who they believe in us. Right? And it was encouragement and it was motivating. Again, even during the time when I did not believe in my own self. Like I didn't value myself. I didn't value my time. I didn't value my intellect. Like I said, when the idea came about, I was like, who want to hear that? Don't nobody want to hear nothing from me, child. Please. Okay. I really don't have nothing to say. But and hearing from others like, man, what you said, it really motivated me or encouraged me, and not thinking that it was that I did that because it was just it's just me, and I'm just saying what I felt based on what you're telling me. So and I really try my best to encourage others because I understand or knows how it feels when you're not being encouraged, when you don't have the people to encourage you to do good, to do better.
that's
um,
right.
so that was important for me. And I'm a big girl, and I chose to take on the accountability and say, you know what, you're right. Let me go ahead and get it together. Okay. And then in the back of my mind, like I'm like, okay, Ryan said I owe him $50 if I don't meet this deadline by. And then if I don't meet it, then that's another $50. Oh Lord. Okay, wait. I gotta get this deadline. I gotta make it. Okay. Tasha said, all right, all right. And then another friend said, so it was like the pressure was on. The pressure was on and I gave up. I did. But then they helped me back up. And during that time, also, I wanted to add, while they were pushing me, I was also pushing them, right? Because he had one of my accountability partners had some things that he was doing too. So I think during that time, we all were learning a little bit about ourselves. And then when we came out of the pandemic, we're able to continue moving forward. We may have dropped the ball on some things, but to get it back up, I'm telling you, you guys have motivated me to, get back in it, because it is what it is. So
What
yeah.
is a dumper friend, Monique?
What is a what,
Well,
MJ?
I went straight for it. What is a dumper friend?
all right. So the dumper is basically someone who just dumps their garbage on you. They use you as their trash can. So they just dump whatever it is that's on their mind. They don't care what you're going through. They want you to be their sounding board. And then when you need them to be your sounding board, you can't find them.
Ain't got time to
Or even
listen.
if you were to get in contact with them, right? Let's say you're talking to them for whatever reason. I don't care what that conversation is about. They turn around and make it about them. And they say, oh, I had this day and that day, and don't you know this is what happened to me, and this and that, and how could they do this to me, and so and so. And you like, yeah, well, let me tell you what happened to me, because so and so, and they'll probably listen to you maybe for a minute or so, and then they're like, yeah, but how could they do that? It's all about them. So they just dumping all their garbage on you. Their garbage, their issues, whatever it is that they're going through, they're just telling you about it to get it off their chest, right? And yes, you would sit there, you'd be like, you taking it. Like, and then you're giving them like some advice, at least what you think would be good advice. You might be praying for them if you're a prayer warrior. You might be, if you have the skills of counseling or therapy, you may want to you may be telling them, well, this is what you should do. Well, have you thought about this? And this and that. They'd be like, it might be silent, or they may be like, yeah, okay. And then they go back to the same thing. When you talk to them again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So what I've learned is that it drains you, right?
Right.
Them dumping all stuff on you and you just taking it. And no matter how you try to encourage them or motivate them or pray with them, pray for them, it's like they don't want to take it. They don't want to accept it. So at some point, you have to tell yourself, I can't keep doing this. Because every
Is
time
the
I talk to this, I'm feeling tired, drained, like I can't do nothing for myself. I can't do
how,
nothing for my family.
how does the dumper friend and the selfish friend, how do, because for me, I get it kind of almost seems like when you think of a dumper, you're thinking of someone who is selfish because the conversation always comes back to them as opposed to you. How does that differ from the selfish friend?
Um, well, all these characters that I
Hmm.
mentioned in the book are intertwined or can be.
Okay.
They can have a little bit of each one.
Everything.
I
Okay.
think with the dumper, as I explained earlier, it's like they just dumping all their stuff on you, all the negative stuff.
Okay.
Nothing well, like that runs into negative Nick and Nancy, but um they just dumping whatever on you. And then the selfish friend, yeah, they're running hand in hand. Where with
Okay.
the selfish friend is actually they don't care about you and nobody else.
Right.
Mm. Okay.
It's just about them. They want the spotlight. It goes back to if we're talking about something or if we're in a group, it's just they want the spotlight on them, right? I don't care, like whatever's happening, whatever's going on. Oh, well, I wouldn't have done that if that was me. Da, 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 da. And bro, they just got beat up. Like, what we doing?
Right.
So, the selfish friend is it doesn't matter um it doesn't matter, they don't matter about you, don't matter to them, they don't and nobody else matters to them because it's always about them. It's always
Okay.
about me.
Okay. So I got kind of get it now because the selfish friend is going to be me, me, me. The dumper cares about you, but it's still about them.
Them.
Okay.
Hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
Let me
how it
say this
sounds
too,
is
Kim.
like the dumper friend may not leave you hanging
Hmm. Hmm.
like the selfish friend would.
Correct.
It's like, child, you got to find your own way. I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that.
Hmm.
Whereas the dumper friend, they may give you a ride, or they may pay for your meal, but
And
you're
on
gonna
that
have to
ride
live.
home, they telling
Yeah,
you about everything that's
about
going
all,
on
yeah,
that
they
went
dumping all
bad
of
in
their
their life.
trash on you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Monique, let me ask you something. Did you find yourself in any one of the chapters? And if you did, which one?
Well, yeah, of course, because I do self-examination, right? So, I wouldn't see myself as a dumper. Like, I would dump, right? But I would take it also. right? Because I'm that friend that's neutral. Um, so for me, ooh,
Just
okay.
go ahead and say you're the
I'm
true
looking at the
friend.
titles and I'm like,
True
okay,
friend because
I might
I
be a
mean
little bit of dumper. I might be a little bit of a dumper, and I'm like MJ. I'm territorial, right? Although I didn't talk about the territorial friend. Um,
that's in book two.
uh, uh, I, uh,
Go ahead, the true
I
friend.
think a little bit. That definitely, I'm a true friend. That, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but I really am. I believe. I believe that I am, and um, and that's what's important to me. Um, touching back on a question that you had, Desiree, when we first started the interview, about um being that being that true friend. Well, why is it important to have certain people in your life or
Use
around
the
you?
person, yeah.
Why? Because it makes you. That's the like the people, the company that you keep affects you ultimately. That's like the African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. You have all these different parts, all these different people that's involved in that child's person as a whole, as a whole.
Mhm.
So you got grandma, you got mommy, you got daddy, you got the teacher, you may have the next door neighbor, right? So for us, yes, the people who we keep around us does affect our emotions, our mental state, our personality, our character. My mom used to say long time ago when coming up as a little girl, birds of a feather flock together. Yes,
Right.
that's true. As an adult, I've learned that that is to be true. Because the people who we are around can affect the way we think, can affect our actions or reactions. You have, when I was younger, me and my friends used to walk up and down the street all day long, right? Up and down the avenue all day long in Overtown. And there was a group of us that we were loud too. Big girls, we were loud. And then so when I used to hear that, I was like, I ain't nothing like them. I ain't nothing like them. Until one day I looked back, I was like, oh, child, I was just as loud and boisterous and energetic as everybody in that group, or the people that I hung with. So yes, that was something that affects us. So in order for you to keep your peace or your sanity, it's important that you protect that. Now, that's where the selfishness can come in, right? But it's to a certain extent. The characters that I talk about in this book, or personalities, if you want to call them that, is to an extreme,
Mhm.
to where it's affecting you. And we got to be careful because we can actually be one of those people. So it's vitally important that we do take a deep look in the mirror, and take accountability for ourselves and be like, yeah, I need to get my whole life together. I need to get myself together.
Right.
A lot of people
Right.
don't take that accountability. Not nowadays.
I
Yeah.
noticed that as we took the journey through the book, when we came toward before the closing, you had questions, journal
Mhm.
questions, and one of those
Mhm.
questions was the discussion question is how does this person make you feel? How should a person you call friend make you feel?
Well, a real friend is the person that after you have a conversation, first of all, during the conversation when y'all get together, it's as if there's no time has passed. You don't have to, as Lady Des said earlier, you don't have to talk to this person every day for you guys to be considered friends, right? Look, true friends. You don't have to talk to them every day. But when y'all get together, it's like pick up where you left off. You guys have a good time. You cry together. You laugh together. You play together. You joke together. It's no hard feelings. And if it is hard feelings, we dust each other off and be like, you know what? You right. And then the other one, you know what? I'm sorry, but I had to tell you that. And because you are friends, and when you know that friend, you know that they're coming from an angle of love. They're not coming from hate or jealousy or envy. You know they're coming from love, because that's your partner, not partner, your partner. That's your dog. That's your comrade. That's your N word. You know what I mean? So when it's like, you know where that person coming from, you know their heart. Especially when you guys have been through some things together. Okay, I know that's not intentional. I know they didn't mean to say it like that. Let me get myself together. Again, we got to take some self-evaluating, a hard self-evaluation, look at ourselves and be like, and accept that, take the accountability, and then start changing or working towards getting better.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I just want to take a break real quick and just acknowledge those that are in the comments. We have Wanda D. Ewing. She's saying, hey, y'all. We have Natasha Hatchett. Hey, Tasha. We got Anita Hill. Anita Hill said, I agree with you, cuzzo. Of course she would.
You're gonna
and we have, I hope I'm saying this right. Shenavia. She's saying, hey. Shavanye. She's saying, hey. And also Anye Music. Is that your daughter? Anaye.
Both of them.
Anaye Music. Hey, thank you all so much for tuning in. Listen, MJ, I wanted to ask you a real quick question.
You want to ask me a question?
I want to ask you a question. Am I one of these chapters in this book?
Oh, most definitely.
Which one? I know it's True Friend. I know that's what I am.
You my frenemy right now.
Yo, what?
My frenemy. That's what you are right now.
Mighty God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me put this disclaimer
at the beginning. MJ is definitely in the next chapter of the next volume of Who's in Your Circle, because he's definitely a territorial friend.
You asked for this.
Yes.
Don't forget that. You asked for this. I was in my corner minding my business. You asked for this.
But you know what?
So listen, what she sees is what she gets.
That's it.
You have to. Another thing about having being a true friend is you are relaxed around that person, where you can be yourself and there's no judgment. Right? They'll tell you when you're right. They'll tell you when you're wrong, but there's no judgment. So you can be who you want to be, who you feel that you really are, and there's no judgment. Like with all these other characters in this book, it's always something. So there's judgment on you. So you can't really let your guard down and really be that person who you feel that you really are. So a real friend would be like, okay, I accept you for who you are, but know that, this is wrong, or know that, you right, and keep pushing. And I'm going to encourage you. In every circle, there should be a prayer warrior. There should be an encourager. In every circle, there should be an empathetic individual, a compassionate person, right? A loving person, a joyful person. You got that jokester that keep you laughing. Oh, when y'all get together, y'all just laugh. Y'all be laughing so hard so everybody around you laughing. What be so funny, man? We just laughing. Laughter, I love the laugh. I love to have a good time, But yeah, we have those different characters that makes up who we are.
So Monique, let me ask you this, because I'm very careful on who is in my circle. I'm very careful and cautious about who I let in. I categorize people a lot. Is that a bad thing?
I don't think so. I think that what you're doing is your natural instincts to of protection turns on.
But she don't need
So and I
protection.
think with you
That's why
too,
I'm here.
with you to because I was thinking about y'all the other day, and I was like,
Oh,
man,
yeah, because we gave you
I
a
mean,
lot in that short time, and I know we could be a bit much.
and even afterwards, remember after the bikes turned off, I was still there. Now we were
Yeah.
still conversing, but I thought about you guys, and I was like, okay, I see MJ because yes, you compartmentalize people, and because you're so bubbly and friendly, people will probably befriend you more. And then with MJ, he'd be like, I don't know, gotta watch that person. Let me see. That's how I see y'all. Like he's your protector, right? Even though you probably have you put people in different file cabinets,
Yeah.
but he still let it be. Mm, don't let that person too
Hey,
close.
but you know
You,
what?
you you're not
I think
they not easily fold. He don't easily fold, and I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's like the way you guys
no, you're right.
intertwine with each other. Yeah,
You're absolutely
that's what I
correct.
saw.
You're
Okay,
absolutely
okay,
correct.
But see,
okay,
listen, I
okay.
take
I
things
love it.
as face value, right? I'm like the type of person where if you show me who you are, I'm going to believe that. And
Right,
just for
right.
how I see you treat others, or how I see you treat the waiter or the waitress at the
Mm-hmm,
restaurant, how you just
mm-hmm,
talk to other
mm-hmm,
people, what you tell me about somebody else. I kind of grade that, and it is a protective mechanism that I have, because I want positivity, I want the compassion, I want the empathetic person. you know i
mm-hmm,
I even have a cussing friend. She cuss a whole lot, but she a good
mm-hmm,
person. So it's like
mm-hmm,
she could be in my circle because I know I can trust her, but it's like, boop, boop, boop. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. But she's good, but it just depends on how I see you operate. And so I take you as face value. And I think if you let the wrong person, fully knowing what type of person that is, if somebody is always telling you about somebody else, they're going to talk about you as well.
mm-hmm.
I disagree with you.
That's that
I
bone.
totally disagree with you because if somebody's telling you about somebody else and they're telling you the truth from their experience, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to talk about you to somebody else. I
Mm-hmm,
I just see it as though if somebody's coming to you and they're telling you the truth about a situation before you hit that train track, then they're somewhat trying to protect you or just enlighten you or invite you into an experience that they had with a certain type of person. So I don't think it's
But
necessarily
no,
that.
but
Go
but
ahead.
MJ, that's a little different. I'm saying this is a person that consistently tells you about other people all the time. It could be anybody, it could be several of people. Now, one thing about you saying something about experience with a special individual or a certain individual, that's understandable. But on a consistent basis, you're
We
consistently hearing gossip, you're consistently hearing negativity, you consistently, they're always bringing you something. So I guess that's the bone carrier. That's the
well,
negative Nick and Nancy.
well, call me a bone carrier then because I work in the entertainment business and I know everybody business.
MJ,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
MJ, it's a certain level of trust though. Like if you just come in flat in and we know someone like that and just dumping, just consistently dumping, and every dump is a negative thing. No, you're not gonna do
mhm.
that because as soon as you leave
Well,
me,
let me say
you
something.
dumping about me.
Uh-huh. So let me say this. So talking about your cursing friend. She loves you. How do you know? Because she respects you. When she cuss, oh girl, my bad, because she know you're a woman of God. You understand? We all have those people in our lives, and you love her because you're showing her with the love of Christ, right? That yes, we could still be friends, child. That's okay. We good. I know where you coming from because you know where the person is coming from. Now,
Right.
to touch on what MJ was talking about, and we were talking about, we had segue into the bone carrier. It's funny because I was having a conversation today with someone, and they were talking about how they are no longer friends with who I thought was their best friend, and so she was explaining how things were going down, but this was something that was happening time over time, and then over time it got worse. So the ex best friend, I'll say ex best friend, so the ex best friend was still talking about the young lady after what
Who is in
since
my circle?
they
I'm very
stopped
for
being
the ex.
friends. And so what ended up happening was they have some mutual friends, and this particular mutual friend, the ex-friend would tell the mutual friend everything about the friend, right? Just whatever happened, now she's telling all their business, right? Whatever they now remember, they were besties, okay? They were BFFs, what I call boongie partners, all right? So they were all together, right? And then now you're no longer speaking, or you're no longer friends. You telling what all the dirt that she did. So the mutual friend go back and tell the friend, right? The young lady, and then go back and tell the ex-friend, right? If there's any communication. And so the question lies in, well, while you talking to the ex-friend and the ex-friend telling you all this stuff, what did you say? Because when you come back and tell the young lady, you're not telling the young lady everything you said. You telling the young lady everything the ex-friend says. And then it's a constant thing. It's all the time. It's every time the mutual friends see them. Girl, let me tell you what happened. This is da, 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 da. And she said this about you, even though this event probably happened maybe 8 months ago. And unfortunately, what she thought was they were best friends. But she
Can,
realized, and what caused the friendship to end, it was something that was so simple. But because it was something that has been happening over time, for a long time, because they had been friends for years. Sometimes we got to realize, listen, when I was in high school, when we were friends in high school, that's where my mind was, or my mentality was. Now I'm a grown woman. My thought process has changed. My mentality has changed. You still acting like we in high school. I'm a grown woman with kids now. Where I was then, I'm no longer there. So maybe that particular friend, that's probably just all I needed at that time. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, what we do is that we place people who are only supposed to be in our lives for a short period of time, a season. We end up trying to keep them in our lives for a lifetime when
Lifetime.
that
Absolutely.
season is done, right? That friendship is done. It doesn't mean that y'all had to fight, something went wrong. It's just you guys have grown apart because life happens. Life has been lifing,
Yeah.
right? And we're in
And just like you said, you change. Your
ex-
mindset change. You
exactly
develop, you see things differently. And sometimes as you grow and as you bloom, um, you know, that friend may still have that same mindset. And you just realize that, we can't vibe together anymore. So we have to,
right.
and I think sometimes too, that's why I put people in categories a little bit, and
Mhm.
and um and I have to tell. Sometimes matter of fact, I told one friend, I said, listen, because we're not together all the time, it doesn't mean that we're not friends. God put us together for that particular season and reason in our lifetime, to
Mhm.
where we needed each other. And I said, and now you're able to stand on your own. You're able to fly, and that's okay. That's
Mhm.
okay, because I understand that You have people in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And when it's that time to fly, that's that time to fly for you. Don't miss it trying to hold on to what we have here. Go fly
Right.
and have a great time, because I know that what we have together, you won't ever forget that. You won't ever
Mhm.
forget it.
Mhm.
And she had to say to me, you know what? Thank you. I needed that, because
Mhm.
she was feeling guilty that we didn't talk every day, or we didn't have those same
Right.
phone calls every day. But you're growing and you're blooming. It's not that you're leaving me. You're just doing your thing. Live life. Know how to cut the wings and not hold friends hostage or people hostage. People are going to do what they want to do. Let them fly, and they're
Mhm.
going to always remember you as that good friend.
So,
Right.
Dr. Monique, I guess what I'm hearing, what I'm gathering from this conversation is that, when you're in a certain season and certain friends could never be on time anymore, that it's time to cut the wings and let them go. Is that what I'm gathering from this?
Really,
I
really.
don't think that's what she means. I don't think that's what she means. I think also too, to what Lady Des is saying is that we have to understand our position in somebody's life. We don't understand our position. So let's say I'm calling you my friend, right? So there's a level of expectation that comes with that title, with friendship. In your mind, this might be just a business relationship. So I'm just we're communicating really just because on a money tip. Whatever you could do for me, I'm gonna try to do for you. But I'm thinking that, well, no, what we friends? Because I know when I call him, he'll answer, and I know he does this kind of business. He gonna do this for me, even if it's at a discounted rate. Mm-mm. No, they looking at you. They may or may not share your stuff on their social media platform or whatever their platform is. And here you go, just sharing their stuff because that's your friend. At least that's what you think in your mind. But that person, no, this is only a business relationship or this is an associate. This it doesn't affect me one way or another. They're not a part of that small circle. They're a part of that other circle, let's say the business circle, because you have those people that you call
Friend.
business partners for our friends, but on a business tip, on a business level. So they may not be friend in the meaning of friend as what I'm talking about in this book. However, when they call you or you call them and say, hey, I'm trying to do this, they'll give you words of encouragement. They'll give you some examples and they'll say, hey, let me make a few phone calls and see if I could get you in. Right? They'll do this for you. So you know what? Man, I gotta look out for them because they looked out for me. So that's a different kind of friend, but that's somebody who you can respect in the game, whatever business game that is. So we
Absolutely.
got to understand where we stand in a person's life and where they stand in our lives. And when you talking about being a friend, this those in your circle, yeah, that's probably a part of your circle because that makes you who you are. Because you do have people that you can count on. You can make that one phone call. Y'all may not talk every day. Y'all probably met once or twice in the lifetime because you were networking, but y'all hit it off real good. And so when you call them, hey, listen, I got this. They call you, hey, let me see what I could do for you, blah, blah, blah. And you guys come through for each other. So that's like on another level, or that's something else. But I haven't even really dived into that yet.
That's book number two.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm telling you, you have to dive into this second volume, or maybe even a third volume, because listen, I thought about a whole host of set of friends. Now, if God needs you to ask me, Des, what other friends should I put in here? I got a list for you.
You should.
Yeah. So we were talking about it last week. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, you
I
guys
got
have
a
me
whole
thinking.
list for it. And
I mean,
actually, when somebody, I think it was your cousin
mhm,
who spoke up spoke up for you and called me about this book two
yeah,
years ago. two
yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
And I think she's on. So hello, Bernadette. Hello. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
And
while you're doing that, you got to also say hello to Glenn Payne and my little sister
hey,
Shawana
Glenn.
Williams is checking us out as well. Um, Go ahead, Des, because we're down
Hey,
to like the
Shawana.
last
Oh, my
couple of
sister.
minutes.
Yeah, so listen, when I first read through this book, I was like, ooh, I could think of a whole set of others that we could add to this. And I wanted more. I really wanted more. It's a quick read, and
Mhm.
every chapter, like you said, it's a character of a friend. So you have the frenemy, you have the dumper, you got the bone
Don't give
carrier.
them all, Des. Don't give them all because book number two is coming, but we need to tell them how they can get who's in your circle.
Who's
They
in
need
this?
to know.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
need to know.
listen, the topic and the titles of these chapters are just awesome, y'all. Awesome.
So, Monique, how can they get the book?
Right now, the book is available on Amazon. Amazon.com. You just type in "Who's in Your Circle," click books, and you should just scroll, and you may see me. It's available on paperback and Kindle. Also, if you can also reach out to me. There is a link on my website at www.mospeaks.net. You can send me an email at mospeaks77 at
77. Mm-hmm.
gmail.com. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, because Mo Speaks was already taken.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
so you can reach out on one of those platforms, but it is definitely available now on Amazon.com. I'm still looking into getting my book on other platforms, so that it's going to take some time. But I want to thank you guys so much for the opportunity. For even allowing me on last week on the radio as well as on you guys' platform. I love the energy that you guys have with one another and how you've made the atmosphere so comfortable. And
Aw,
it's just like I had a good time. I really did. I had a good time last week and I had a good time tonight. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the
We
opportunity.
appreciate you for taking
absolutely.
time out. But I want you to leave everybody with one bit of information. What should they look for when they're trying to make their circle? Tell them, just give them a bit of information of what they need when they're trying to make a circle.
I think that I mentioned it before. Well, you want to have different types of people in your character because that, I mean, in your circle because that makes you you. So you want to have that prayer warrior. You want to have that truth seeker, like that one that just keeps it 100 with you and they don't sugarcoat, but it's done in love, right? You want to keep that one that keeps you laughing. You want to keep that one that supports you when you down, they pick you up, and when they're down, you pick them up. Because remember, it's a mutual relationship. It's a two-way type relationship, right? You that encourager. You want someone who gonna push you and encourage you, hold you accountable for when you doing right and when you doing wrong, and when you should be doing something positive, right? They hold you accountable. They tell you when you dead wrong. No, they have that raw honesty. They have that pure love for you, So it's a little bit of all of that you may want to look at. And the some of the comments or a lot of the comments I've received from individuals who have purchased the book and read the book, they said that they're after reading the book, they realized that their circle had gotten much smaller than what it was before. So again, I want to put this disclaimer out there. It's not meant to cause war, to be fighting, but it's but it's meant for you all to be more alert and be aware of the people that you have around you because it affects you as an individual. I hope
Most
that answered your
definitely.
question.
Absolutely.
Well, Des, I guess since Dr. Monique said it,
I am
You
not a
still love
doctor,
me,
guys.
MJ? I'm that true friend, am I, MJ?
that ain't what I was about to say.
Oh, what you about to say? What you was about to say?
Since Dr. Monique said you need a whole slew of people, I'm going to give you two, three more.
And then that's gonna be it. Cause he
Listen,
gonna tell you your circle getting too big, Lady Des.
No. I actually keep a small, tight knit circle, and the people that MJ is talking about, they've been there all the time. But now that he's there, he don't want me to deal with them at all. So he's being territorial and selfish all at the
And it
same
is.
time.
Okay. Yeah.
And, and listen, he ain't ashamed to say it.
Uh-uh.
It's done in love. It's done in love. Now,
It
MJ,
is.
now
It
you
is.
know if it goes a little bit, if it's a little too heavy, Lady Des, you gotta let them know. All right, now MJ, you doing too much. You don't hurt my friend over here. MJ probably be like, yeah, but it's something that she ain't right
He
for
is
you.
something else. He is something else. But listen, you gotta love him,
You know
and
that's
he
somebody you
means
can trust.
well. Yeah, he means well. He's
Mm-hmm.
protective, and he makes sure I'm safe. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Ain't nobody gonna run up at all.
Not. They're not. How much time we have? Because it was something that MJ had asked me on Thursday, and I did a little bit of research. How much time we have?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Five more minutes.
You
But go
sure?
ahead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. No, just real quick. MJ, you had asked me about, well, what do you do if you find one of these people that are in your circle? Like, how you get them out your life, or like, what do you do? And I gave you some examples of what I did, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I did some research, and I found that what I had told you, I found some literature on it on the internet, of course. And I was like, oh, wow. So I wasn't really too far off. So what do you do when you have someone in your circle that you really need to get rid of that's not benefiting you or helping you? Take a step back and reevaluate the relationship. Talk to another supporting system, right? Another support system that you have to get another perspective. I also found that you can have a direct conversation with that person, and then when you do have that direct conversation, don't let them or don't allow them to deflect. Stay focused, stay on the issue, stay on the pattern or the cycle at hand. Well, I noticed you did this, and this. Well, they say, okay, I'm gonna do better. And then when that issue comes up or when that scenario comes up again, then you can say, see that right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's the example. And then if they continue to do that, then you know it's time to like cut that off, cut that in that relationship. Yeah.
I
And there are
appreciate
some
that.
other emotional regulating strategies that the internet talks about, but yeah.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have a
Good.
private session about that because that give another chance. You got to go. Right? We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that dance again. Sorry, got to go.
Listen, MJ is the type, he ain't gonna give no grace, right?
Mm.
It's just, oh, you move it like that? Okay, I'm gonna move like this, and that's it.
And sometimes you got to be that way, but other times you also want to give people the benefit of the doubt because they're
Right.
probably not that.
See,
I'm the benefit of the doubt person. I
that's
am the
beautiful.
benefit of the doubt person.
Mhm.
That's
I'm gonna
beautiful.
give you a chance. I'm gonna give you a
Mhm.
chance,
Mhm.
but I'm watching as well as praying all at the same time.
Of course, you got to. You got
So,
to.
we're definitely going to have to do this again because that conversation that you just said, I tried to warn this woman and she's like, "Well, no, I have to see for myself." Well, no, okay, fine.
Listen,
And
I just
then
feel
when
that
she finds out, then she be like, you know what, MJ, you were right.
mhm.
But I already knew that. I told you that. I was trying to stop you from doing that. But
It's so
anyway,
vitally important to have us an MJ in our life. In our,
Listen, he is like the Peter. He is gonna cut the ear off
yeah,
like instantly.
yeah, yeah. We
But I'm
definitely
like,
need them
no,
in our lives.
let's
Yeah.
play this out. Let's see how this rolls. Give this person a chance, and I'm gonna give him a little chance.
you
Oh,
see you see the truck coming for the tree. It's gonna hit it. Oh well, maybe he gonna turn at the last minute. No, get out the way. Just move.
And like
oh
not
my
all
God.
the time he hit it. I was
As long
I was right
as,
sometimes.
as, long
Admit it.
as
I was right sometimes.
As long as we've been talking, majority of the time they don't hit that tree, right?
Mm, Lord.
On that note,
I also want to
Okay.
let the
Oh,
audience know this book is not only for women because we
no,
got
because I have one.
okay.
yeah.
I
We
got
got
one.
men,
Listen,
yes.
Mm.
it's for everybody, honestly. And I believe that because, like you said, Monique, when I was reading, I was like, okay, trying to find myself in every chapter. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if am I this person, and what do I need to do to change or to adjust? It's an
Wait,
awesome guide. It really is.
you said
And
word.
what?
She said change. Oh,
Shondo,
Listen,
God forgive me.
but you know what, MJ? I nailed it down. I am that true friend.
Mm-hmm.
I never said you
The,
won't.
the true friend fit me so very well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This chapter, this is me. This is all me.
Well, I guess it depends on who you ask. I say you're the friend of me. Maybe next week you'll be the true friend again. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Now y'all know that y'all know MJ and Lady
Listen, I
D
think everybody knows that. Watch us. Everybody knows.
is all in love. It is an easy read. That was one
Yeah.
thing that I wanted to make sure it's an easy read. It's not a long, it's not going to take you several days unless you really want to marinate on it. It's totally up to you. But those who did have the opportunity to read the book, if you can go on Amazon.com or Google.com and put your reviews of the book. All feedback is welcome. Or of course constructive criticism. But I am, humble enough to read them and then,
Well, I'm going to get my review as soon as we get offline.
so I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for even tuning in, listening to little old me, Monique, who's a nobody trying to tell somebody, trying to tell everybody about somebody.
It is
Some people. But thank
most.
you guys so much.
You are most
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Go ahead, Des.
And we just thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it's late and you worked all day. So thank you, Monique. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. And just sharing your book with us, sharing your thoughts. And I just hope that it helps somebody. And I know, listen, y'all going to get this book. Y'all going to get this book right here. Who's in your circle? And thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank
All
you.
right, family. Well, there you have it. It's conversations with them too. That's right. Me, MJ, and Lady Des, the Shenanigans crew. And our special guest on this evening was Miss Monique Lubin Strachan. Listen, it's a guide to friendships. Know who's in your circle. We do this almost each and every Monday night at 8:30. Des, who's our guest next week? Guess who's
Our
coming
guest
in?
next week. Stay tuned.
All right, like there you
Listen,
have
you
it,
can't wing
family.
that on me like that. I'm like, who is it? Yeah. Stay
Oh,
tuned. Y'all will see the flyers come up.
there you
But
have it. All right,
but
so
whoever it is, it'll be somebody great.
there you have it. All right, family. Make sure you tune in next week to conversations with them too, and follow us on social media. Follow Monique on social media, and go get the book, A Guide to Friendships. Who's in your circle? Until next week, we'll do this again. Peace and love.